Peace and love, family. Welcome back to the channel, Making African Americans Great Again and Definitely. Coming to you with part 2 of my Black People or Nurtured Descent series. Just to elaborate on it a little bit, a nurtured descent is being taught to descend. Black people are so far from where we once were. We were once an ascended race of people. Now we're at our lowest state. We're at our most descended state. This has been taught. This ignorance and stupidity that we display has been taught. Now, keep in mind, this is not every black person. But a lot of black people have been taught to be stupid, to be ignorant. Tonight on the Nurtured Descent, we're going to discuss gangs. It all started in poor, impoverished communities where middle-class families may have started out. It may have been middle-class families or people who had dreams of becoming middle-class, all moving to this area. Now, this was by design. Make no mistake about it. It was by design. Because if you really want a community to be successful, you would limit the number of people you allow to move to that community. In these communities, like the Cabrini Green projects, and it's places all over California, Baltimore, Maryland, places like that where gang violence is at an all-time high. It's because you take all these poor people, you pack them together, and then you got the poorest of the poor trying to survive and battle it out for the scraps at the bottom. Usually what happens is somebody displays a show of force or a show of power. People form gangs to take from other people. People form gangs for protection. And before long, they realize it's a lucrative market in gang activity. Because not only do they get off into drug dealing or murder for hire, they get off into extortion. They get off into running females for prostitution rackets. They get into what they call jacking or stealing. And this tears the whole community up. Hip-hop, once it started integrating gangsters and gangster rappers into the culture of hip-hop, that really led a whole generation of blacks astray. Rap and hip-hop today is the equivalent of what crack was to the black community in the 80s. Literally destroyed a whole generation overnight. And that's exactly what's going on today in the communities. You got gangbangers who will make it into the industry, and rappers praise those gangbangers. Guess who else praised them? Your children, my children. Or maybe at one point you praised them. I know I sure did. You grow up, you get out of it. You learn to live above the image. And that's something a lot of us as blacks don't do. Which brings me to the next narrative. Because of gang culture in the black communities, a lot of whites often associate black men with being gangbangers, being extremely violent and aggressive. And this is why these cops and these vigilantes kill us, and nobody feels sympathy for us, because you can literally look at a whole 24-hour reel of black people doing ignorant shit, crying world star in the background. This is one of the images we have that allows for the world to not feel any sympathy for us when we kill in the street like animals. They portray us as animals. A lot of times in those videos, we act like animals, and they reel it to the white public. They reel it to the general public so much that when one of us gets killed at the hands of a white person, no matter how foul that white person may be, no matter how unjust that murder may be, the first thing that I can say is, well, what about black on black crime? So Mike Epps said something the other day, and everybody got angry with him about it. He said that comedians and actors and all these people in Hollywood that are black have a lot to do with the way we portrayed. He was right. There's no need for the black media and black entertainers to attack him. That guy was right. It starts with them. If they praise and promote this bullshit culture, and our children want to emulate this bullshit culture, guess what happens when our counterparts look at it and say, hey, don't want that in my community. I seen a black guy jogging. I seen a black guy going to a house. He must have stole something. Let's confront him. When George Zimmerman got away with murdering Trayvon Martin, that started a whole new wave of Kill them on camera, kill them in public. Nobody's gonna do a goddamn thing to your body. And this is how gang culture affects the way we are portrayed in the media.